Hello everyone, this is Adam from Leatherhead District Scouts. I am out once again in the woodland foraging for a few bits and pieces. Some ingredients that are needed for today's little cooking session. And today I am looking for some nettles. I'm looking for some young nettle leaves and nettle stems that I'm going to be using to make a kind of sag aloo, and we're going to replace the spinach in the sag aloo with some nettle leaves. So we're going to have nettle sag aloo. So let's go and have a look for some nettles. So all over here on this little bit of kind of like scrubland, we've got loads and loads of patches of young nettles. Very small ones, which are going to be perfect for this sag aloo recipe. So the bits of the nettle that we're really after are these kind of tips here. I want to avoid the larger leaves and anything that's closer to the ground, but these tips will be perfect. If you're particularly worried about stings from stinging nettles, then you can always use, got an old sock here with me, it will just help protect your fingers and your hands while you're gathering the nettles. It's really simple. I'm using the sock just to help with the stings. Don't really want to destroy my fingers. So there we go, and then into the bag. So I've got a good bunch of nettles now, and I'm heading back home to show you how to cook the Nettle Sag Aloo. So we're back. We have our nettle leaves and we have all of our ingredients getting ready to cook our Nettle Sag Aloo. So let's just take a quick look at the ingredients. Of course, we have some nettle tips there. There is a handful of new potatoes, so enough for kind of one portion. Red onion chopped, 3 cloves of garlic, I really like garlic, chilli, got some water there for the potatoes, and we've got some of our seasoning as well. So there's salt, pepper, and we've also got some mild curry powder. You could also use garam masala, and we've got my favourite chilli and lemon seasoning. So let's get cooking. So first things first, we need to get our potatoes on to get them cooking. So we've got some water in there, and I'm just going to drop in our new potatoes. So we've got enough for about a portion here, and they shouldn't take too long to boil. We don't want them to go too soft either, because we're going to be frying them after we have cooked the nettles. So that's step one, we've got the potatoes in there. So the next step is actually what to do with the nettle leaves. So we need to essentially just remove them from the tips, and we can do that really easily with our hands. So I've just got a little mug here, and I'm just going to take the nettle leaves from the top or from the bottom, depending on whether you don't mind the stings or not. Just pinch down. Sometimes on the tips of these young nettles, the stings haven't really kind of developed yet, so it doesn't hurt too much. Obviously, if you don't like it, you can always wear gloves. Now, what we're going to do with these leaves is we're going to boil them in the water that's left over from boiling the potatoes, and what that will do is that will actually get rid of the stings. So obviously when we're eating it, we don't want to get any stings in our mouth, so we can boiling the nettles just for a little bit, it wilts them down, but also, as well as wilting them down, it also will get rid of those stings. So I'm just going to carry on picking these nettle leaves off while the potatoes boil. So let's catch up with that in a bit. So just a little time-saving tip for you, and also if your fingers do start to get a little bit tingly and numb from the stings, then you can just use some scissors to cut off the leaves, and it will speed up your production process quite rapidly actually. So I'm quite liking this technique. Okay, so our potatoes are now nice and soft. You can kind of prick them with a fork and they're soft, not too soft because we still want them to kind of hold together. So what I'm now going to do is to drain off the liquid from the potatoes into my mug here, keeping the potatoes in there. And then I'm just going to pop the liquid, that hot liquid, back into there, because what we need to do is we just need to cook off those nettles in the water. Might need some more water actually, just to get rid of those stings and just to wilt them down a little bit. I think I'll just grab some more water. So I've added just a little bit more water. I want to make sure all of the nettles are submerged in that boiling water. That will get rid of the stingers, make them good to eat. So our onions soften nicely, and we've got a nice smell of garlic coming off of there as well. We don't want to cook the garlic for too long because garlic can burn, we don't want that. So the next thing that we're going to do is add our spices. So I've got mild curry powder here. I'm just going to tip this just as a rough measure. Kind of want like a teaspoon's worth of that in there, a teaspoon and a half. You can also add garam masala if you don't have mild kind of curry powder, turmeric, cumin. I'm adding some of this chilli and lemon seasoning, which I really like. Going to give that a quick mix. Just cook out the spices. And now I'm going to add back into that those potatoes that I cooked earlier. That's a good sound. Make sure all the potato is covered in those spices. We can let that. I'm going to heat up the potato now. This is also a good time just to add in just a little bit of seasoning. So, as I mentioned in another video, you can always pick up salt and pepper sachets at fast food restaurants or pubs sometimes. So add in a pinch of salt there and a bit of pepper as well. I do like it spicy, so all the pepper is going in. Give that another good stir. smells really good. So I'm also now going to add in those nettles, so the nettles can be mixed in with those spices. And also I'm just going to add just a little bit of that liquid that the nettles boiled in, just to free up some of those spices that have got stuck to the bottom of the frying pan. Give this another good mix around again. You want to mix in those spinach leaves, so mix in the nettle leaves, so that's what it looks like. If you want to, you can obviously add panased chicken, you can add some chorizo if you like. There are lots of different alternatives to this. This is quite a simple meat-free one, but you can add lots of different stuff to it if you like. Right, so that's just about done with the cooking, I think. The potatoes are really nice and soft now, so just pop that out, and we can give this a try. It smells really nice. Obviously, most important thing to try first is our foraged material, and that's our nettles. So as I've mentioned before in other videos, nettles provide so many vitamins, and that's why it's a really great source of food in a bushcraft and survival situation, and just for wild food in general. So the nettles they're soft, they're wilted down, no kind of like stingy flavour. Really nice. I can't put my finger on exactly what they taste like. Obviously we've got spices in here as well, but you can see that I've got like a good bunch of got a good portion here. That's really nice. So Nettle Sag Aloo, that's one for definitely to try on a campfire, definitely to try on a bushcraft camp. I think a nice warming dish, especially with nettles that are very available in the English countryside. So it's a good one. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the videos on the Leatherhead Scouts District YouTube channel, and have a go at your Nettle Sag Aloo.